Hello, my dear students. So, today we are going to discuss the question and answers of chapter number 1, that is the portrait of a lady from the book Vistas. So, first of all, let's discuss some short answer type questions. Describe the grandmother in your own words. So, we'll have to tell in brief her appearance, her nature, and her qualities. In brief, because it's just a 2-mark question. So you can write the grandmother was a deeply religious woman. She was also kind hearted. You do not need to add that she fed dogs in the village and she fed sparrows in the city, because it would be then the word limit would be exceeded if I talk about 2 marks question. So you'll have to be in brief. She was not pretty to look at, yet she was beautiful. She was graceful and dignified in her bearing. Tolerance. Whenever she was given her separate room or she was going to see off narrator, she was always calm and composed. She had perfect control over her emotions. She didn't say a single word when the narrator went to abroad or returned from abroad. She was busy in her own prayers. She used to feed the dogs and birds. So this is a 2-mark answer. Next is, how were the narrator and the grandmother good friends in the village? Grandmother woke him up every morning and got him ready for school. She would bathe and dress him up. She gave him breakfast, got him his slate, inkpot, and accompanied him to school. While he learnt at school, grandmother used to read the scriptures in the temple. When the school was over, they would walk back home together and feed the village dogs on the way. So in this way you are writing from morning till evening their routine, how they were together. So if they were together, everything was grandma's responsibility, so there was a special bond between both of them. Next, what was the turning point in their friendship? The turning point was when they shifted from village to city. That was the turning point only. The answer is, their arrival in the city was the turning point in the friendship of the author and the grandmother. Why? Now you will again write in brief. She no longer accompanied him to school as he used to go by bus. She could not help him in his studies. They saw less of each other, and in the end, what happened? The common link of friendship was snapped and the distance grew. So you all know very well, this common link again means the common room which they shared, and when the author started going university, he just needed his own room, so that common link was also snapped away. Next is, why was the author's grandmother unhappy with the city education? What was wrong with it? The grandmother did not like the teaching at English school in the city. She was sad that they did not teach anything about God and the religious scriptures. Nor was she interested in science. She hated music lessons given in the school. So she didn't like science, she didn't like maths, she didn't like music, and she also wanted the scriptures to be taught in the schools which were not taught. Why did the grandmother hate music? What was her opinion? Grandmother considered that music was indecent. It's not for decent people, it's not decent, and was meant only for harlots and beggars, for only hawkers and beggars. It was not meant for gentlefolk or school children from respectable families. So this was grandmother's thought, opinion, that music is meant for lower class people. It is not meant for good families. So she did not like when narrator said that he is given music lessons at school. Draw a comparison between village school education and city school education. In the city school, English and science were taught. Music was also one of the subjects. There was no teaching about God and scriptures. But in the village, the school was attached to a temple. The priest himself acted as the teacher, the one who took care of the temple and every other things. He was the teacher only there, and taught the children the alphabet and the prayer. They were only given basic education in village, which would make anybody capable of reading or writing, and with them, with that alphabets knowledge, scriptures knowledge was also given, and for grandmother that was very important. Next is, what used to be the happiest moment of the day for the grandmother? This is very important. The happiest moment of the day for grandmother was the time when she would feed the sparrows. In the afternoon, she sat in the veranda, breaking the bread into little bits. Hundreds of sparrows collected around her. Some came and perched on her legs, others on her shoulders, some even sat on her head. She smiled, but never shooed them away. This used to be the happiest half an hour moment of the day for her, when the sparrows came and she pampered the sparrows and she fed them, and those sparrows also showed their love to the grandmother, like this, sat on her so freely. So she enjoyed this thing, and this was the happiest half an hour. Next is, what was the last sign of physical contact between the author and the grandmother? It was not the last sign actually, okay, it was considered to be the last sign according to the narrator. When the author was going abroad for further studies, his grandmother came to see him off at the railway station. She kissed his forehead silently. That was the last of physical contact between the author and the grandmother, as he thought that at her age one could never tell whether he would find her alive after 5 years or not. So when he was at the station and grandmother kissed him, he thought that when he would return after 5 years, the grandmother would not be alive, maybe she would not be alive, so it could be the last physical contact, but it was not. When narrator came back from abroad, she was there. And now long questions. Elaborate on the beautiful bond of love and friendship between the author and his grandmother. So this is a long question, a 6-mark question. Explain the relationship between author and the grandmother. When the author was still young, his parents left for the city, leaving him to the care of his grandmother. They were good friends. She woke him up each morning, bathed him, dressed him, plastered his wooden slate, gave him breakfast, and walked him to school. These all things were done by only grandmother. While he sat in the veranda learning, the grandmother sat inside the temple reading scriptures. So in the school also, Khushwant Singh was not alone. Grandmother was there sitting in the temple. When they settled in the city, they shared a common bedroom. When the writer was going abroad, she went to the railway station to see him off, but did not speak a word, only kissed his forehead. The writer cherished this physical contact as their last physical contact, as he was going away for 5 years, but his grandmother was there to receive him back. In the evening, she collected women from the neighborhood and beat the drum and sang for hours for the homecoming of the warriors. She was so happy on the arrival of Khushwant Singh that she sang for so long. For the first time, she missed her prayers. If you notice this answer, this is about only beautiful bond of love and friendship. So it is about positive relationship. So you have to not write anything which is negative, like the common link was taken away, or she just accepted her loneliness, or she was not that much emotional when he was going to abroad. So all these things need not to be written here. Here also only positive things or the beautiful bond of relationship showing things should be written. Next question number 2. The grandmother was not pretty but beautiful. How? The grandmother was short, old, fat, and slightly bent. For the last 20 years, she looked the same, and to the author, she seemed too old to age further. She was too old to grow older. It was difficult for him to imagine that she could have been young and pretty, because he had been looking at her since last 20 years and she is just old. But to him, she was beautiful. For narrator, grandmother was beautiful in a pristine and peaceful way, in a very pure way. He remembered her telling the beads of her rosary untiringly, Okay, she was never tired of telling the beads of her rosary. She was never tired of praying. Her silver locks, her hair flicks, lay scattered untidily over her pale, puckered face. Untidily, not combed properly, pale color, yellow color of the body, puckered, which is very thin due to old age, and her lips constantly moved an inaudible prayer. She was like the winter landscape in the mountains, serene and contented. So she is very beautiful because she is compared with winter landscape, which is very pure, which is very peaceful. Next is discuss the relevance of the title, The Portrait of a Lady. This question about the title is important for every chapter. For every chapter, you'll have to have some points. Why do you think the title is appropriate, or can you suggest any other title? So the answer for this can be Khushwant Singh draws a heartwarming pen portrait of his grandmother, whom he loved and admired. So this portrait is in textual form with pen, but it is heartwarming. Though not pretty, she was beautiful to the author's perception, author's view, telling the beads of her rosary while her lips constantly moved in an inaudible prayer. She was like the winter landscape in the mountains, serene and content. She shared a special relationship with the author. How? She got him ready and walked him to and from school, going and coming back. While he sat in the veranda learning, his grandmother sat inside the temple reading scriptures. The writer remembers his memories of his grandmother when he went abroad, and how on his return she collected women from the neighborhood and beat the drum and sang for hours of the homecoming of the warriors. So he is explaining everything about the grandmother in a very beautiful way. For the first time, she missed her prayers. She was a pious soul, a pure soul who cared for the family and even dogs and sparrows. Her death was mourned by all, including the sparrows. Everybody was sad on her death, even including the sparrows. The writer, through his portrayal, makes the old lady endearing. She gets dear to all and unforgettable. So she is the picture of a perfect grandmother. Question number 4, long question. From a foster mother in the village, foster mother who takes care like a mother in the village, to a lonely old lady in the city, describe the grandmother's journey through the later part of her life. How she was very important for the grandmother when they were in the village, and how she just got into a separate room and she didn't have much to talk with the narrator. So how this is depicted in the story, we'll have to tell. When Khushwant Singh was still young, his parents left for the city, leaving him to the care of his grandmother. You will see that text is repeated, so you can repeat the NCERT text especially. They were good friends. His grandmother tended to him, got him ready, walked him to every kind of responsibility, walked him to school. While Khushwant Singh and the other children sat in the school's veranda learning, his grandmother sat inside the attached temple reading scriptures. And now in the city, their friendship underwent a change. The only thing that remained unchanged was their common bedroom. Only one thing was common now, that was bedroom. Otherwise, no common school going, no, you can say the studies of grandmother's choice, nothing. Only a common bedroom. She could not accompany him to school as he went by the school bus. His grandmother did not understand or approve of his city education. She didn't like it, and their communication deteriorated further. It further got less and less and less. Later, when he went to the university, he got a separate room, and this separated their bond together further. Okay, because the common room was also now gone, so the link was again going weak and weak. She then spent her day from sunrise to sunset at her spinning wheel. This was the only thing she could do. She just kept herself busy. She sat spinning and reciting her prayers. It was only in the afternoon that she relaxed for a while to feed the sparrows. Otherwise, for the whole day continuously, she was spinning the wheels. That half an hour was a break to her, and it was a feeding time for sparrows. Write a character sketch of the author's grandmother using the following words. See, here you are given adjectives, so you'll have to just prove that this quality was there in the grandmother, like affectionate, caring, kind, benevolent. Benevolent means kind, religious, and a strong woman. And maybe sometimes you also get write a character sketch of the author's grandmother. Only this much. Then also you can write the same answer, because in character sketches what you have to do is write at least 8 to 10 qualities of the person and then elaborate it with the proofs or text in your chapter. You will have to give the reference of the text as well, adjectives, and then incident or event or proof. This is the way to write a character sketch. The author's grandmother was not pretty, but to the author she was a beautiful woman, an embodiment, an ideal, you can say, an ideal or idol, IDOL, of serenity and contentment. She was a picture of divinity, purity, and contentment, satisfaction. She was a pious and a religious lady who was always telling beads of her rosary, and her lips constantly moved in inaudible prayer. She was an affectionate and a caring woman. She shared a special relationship with the author. How? Let's see. She woke him up each morning, bathed him, dressed him, plastered his wooden slate, gave him breakfast, and walked him to school. And then her kindness and benevolence extended to the dogs and sparrows as well, whom she fed dutifully. So in the village she fed dogs, in the city she was feeding sparrows. So she was very kind and benevolent. She was a strong woman, who did not show any emotion when the author was going abroad, but when he returned, she collected women from the neighborhood and beat the drum and sang for hours of the homecoming of warriors. So when he was going, she was just normal. She just bade him with a kiss on forehead and prayers. But when he came, then she was so happy that she started singing the songs of homecoming of warriors. Next is, the grandmother herself was not formally educated but was serious about the author's education. How does the text support this? The grandmother was not formally educated, she was not very much educated, she only knew how to read and write, but was serious about the author's education. She could read the scriptures. She realized the value of education and did not let author miss the school, even in the village. She woke him up each morning, bathed him, dressed him, plastered his wooden slate, gave him breakfast, and walked him to school, where he was taught the alphabet and morning prayers. While he sat in the veranda learning, the grandmother read her scriptures. So, she is giving the utmost importance to author's education, even in the village. In the city, she could not accompany him to school as he went by the school bus. He was now in an English school where they taught science. She could not understand English and did not believe in science. The fact that they were not taught about God made her unhappy. She was very unhappy. She was angry that the scriptures or the things about God were not taught. Khushwant Singh's music lessons in school upset her over its lewd associations. She thinks that it has some lewd associations. It is meant for low class people. So she was not happy when Khushwant Singh was learning this. She took an interest in the author's education in the village and in the city as well. So for him, author's education was very important. Last question is, gradually the author and the grandmother saw less of each other and their friendship was broken. Was the distancing deliberate or due to the demands of the situation? Did Khushwant Singh really want to go away from his grandmother, or was it situation? When the author was a young boy, his parents shifted to the city, leaving him with his grandmother. They were good friends. She was with him through the day and even accompanied him to and from school. She went to school with him and she came back from school with him. But when his parents had settled in the city, they sent for them, they called them. This proved to be a turning point in their friendship. This changed their friendship revolutionarily. The only thing that remained unchanged was their common bedroom. She could not accompany him to school as he went by the school bus. He was now in an English school where they taught science. She could not understand English and did not believe in science. The fact that they were not taught about God made her unhappy. His music lessons in school made her feel worse. She didn't like it. But it was when he went to the university and got a separate room and that their ties were severed further. That was the situation due to which they were separated. This was not deliberate. Author did not do it deliberately, or grandmother did not do it deliberately. But the situations adversely affected their relationship. It was because demand of the situation, but due to this separation, their lives changed very much, especially of the grandmother. So this is it for the day. These were the questions. Note them down in the fair notebook. Okay, have a good day.